Hey there everybody, this is Anna from Anna from Lucy Paper Crafts, and today I want to show you how to make the cards for my October 2022 card class. You can get this card kit in the mail, so you would get 2 of each with a $30 order, but most important you have to use the host code. You'll find a link that has the host code attached to this class already in it. And you can also find the link for the PDF tutorial below the video. So you don't have to worry about writing down any of the measurements or the steps. So it has photos, instructions, the supply list, everything I used. And if you actually place an order using that host code that is $50 or more, you get, oh, I'm sorry for the glare, you get a whole pack of these super cute fine sparkle gems that are in our current holiday catalog. There's actually a 4th color, Calypso Coral, hiding up here. So you get one of this with your $50 order. And yeah, let's go ahead and make our cards. Just get this out of the way. So the first one is already a cute and perfect for mass production Christmas card. So this is how your card kit comes, okay, in the mail. All right. So you got your card base. I'm going to fold that. And it comes already pre-scored for you. And then I took some polished pink, one of our in colors, polished pink cardstock, and I embossed it. Let me find that here. With our, oh, I don't even know, I want to say whimsical trees, Christmas trees embossing folder, and it's 6x6. So also nice for, you know, if you want to make bigger sized cards and or scrapbooking. And I'm trying to find my adhesive. So, and again, that piece is already cut and embossed for you. And oops, if I can get my Stampin' Seal to start. Just gonna put that right onto our card base. Of course, you can pop this up already with dimensionals. All right, make sure you have your trees the right way around. And I place that right here. Oop, I'm always a little bit off to the right. Okay, so there's that. And then we have a piece of basic white that I die cut with our deckled rectangles dies. So let's see, let me pull those out first so you don't have, oh, you're still gonna have some glare. So, and I used, I wanna say the 3rd largest of those. And you find those in the main catalog. Okay, let me put that aside actually. So I know I've shown it to you. Okay, so now we're gonna do some stamping. And then you also have your label here. So this is die cut from Parakeet Party cardstock with our pillow box dies. They were, I think, in the holiday catalog last year. So you have like this whole pillow box, and it's just all one piece. And now you find them in the annual catalog. And then it has 2 labels here. This is a really nice size, and then this slim stitched label, and then you have, you know, some flowers here, and actually 3 additional dies that you can line up here with your pillow box. So really cool. And I just love all the variety of label dies that we get with, you know, all the sets of dies that we have. So now here's a tip. I've noticed that some people have a little bit of trouble because this is a huge stamp. Oh, I haven't even told you. So I'll be using the Trimming the Tree stamp set. This is also in our annual catalog. And it's a really great stamp set. If you're just starting out as a crafter and you don't have much Christmas stuff yet, this is definitely a must-have because you have this huge tree that you can stamp. This is a detail stamp, so I'll show you how to do this here in a second. You have some trimming for your tree. You have ornaments, you have a star, you even have a bow if you don't like actually tying bows. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 really great sentiments in different fonts. So it's really a great stamp set, and it's photopolymer, so it's see-through. let me show you. I already have my stamps here prepared, and we're going to use Shaded Spruce, one of my absolute favorite colors. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment first. So I went with, if I can find it, the Happy Holidays, because I love this color combination. So we have Polished Pink, Shaded Spruce, and then Parakeet Party. I think it looks so fun. You know, very non-traditional color combination, but I think it's very cute. Okay. Oops, I should probably, well, for this one, it doesn't matter. Inking up my stamp. And let's see here if I can get it somewhat straight. Again, because it's photopolymer, you can stamp right on it. Okay, so we're going to put that aside and let that dry. And I'm going to get that aside. And now we have our large tree here. Okay, so, and I really recommend, because it's such a big stamp, to use our Stampin' Pierce mat. You find that in the annual catalog, but you also have it in a supply list for this card class, because you're really covering a large surface here. So you want to make sure that you really ink up your stamp. Okay. Okay. And if you have a trouble like doing it with this huge block, I want to say that's the E size, then flip it around. And if you have something, you know, white paper under there, like I have my grit paper from my Stamparatus, which you can also use. Really, if you have trouble, if you have a Stamparatus or stamping tool where you can stamp, you know, with a hinge multiple times, definitely use that to have some nice even coverage. Okay, so just make sure. I'll have to re-ink my Shaded Spruce, because this is definitely going to be one of my cards that I'm going to be making for family and friends for Christmas. Okay, all right, so, and I hope I still have enough ink on there. We'll find out in a second. Okay, so stamp it right in the middle. And now you really want to press down on this one and just give it a second. Try not to wobble too much, so you get that wobble, well, that halo around your stamped image. But really give the ink a second, since it's such a large stamp, to sink in. Okay, all right, and there we go. So that's that. And then, like I said, there's a detail stamp that's a bit smaller. So I'm going to be using Parakeet Party on this, one of our new in colors. And I'm just going to dip, dip, dip. And there's no perfect way, I think, to line this up. Maybe there is. I haven't found it yet. So don't worry about that too much. Just place it right in the middle. And it's just giving our tree here a cute little colorful highlight, picking up the Parakeet Party from our label. So just really cute. And now color number three is going to be Parakeet, Polished Pink, also PP. And I'm going to stamp a little star on top. Of course, you could also do the bow that comes in the set. Okay. And then we have this little, I don't know, pot, I guess, for our Christmas tree to sit in. Okay, let's see here. Okay, there we go. And that's all our pieces. So we can assemble our card now. Give me a second to make some room here. So we're bringing in our card base with our embossed layer. And now I'm just going to pop this up with some dimensionals. It's going to be easier for the camera to focus on something if there is something a little bit more than just white. Oops. Okay. And then let's use up this sheet of dimensionals. Oh, there was one left. Okay. So I'll just do it like this. Could have put them a little bit further out, but that's okay. And we're going to pop that up on our card and make sure it's the right way. Like that. And the deckled, or this kind of uneven edge here on this layer on from the deckled rectangles dies really helps if you struggle with setting your layers on straight, especially with dimensionals. With liquid glue and everything, you can wiggle a little bit, but not with this one. So, and now I'm just going to use the other half. Let's see here. How much do we need? It's going to be too long, so that's fine. It's kind of hiding this a little bit, if I'm making sense. All right. And there we have, oops, didn't want to come off all the way. And then we'll just place our label on top of that. All right, and so now if you wanted to, you can add some ribbon, you can add some rhinestones. That's really up to you. It might be a little bit off, but that's okay. So that's card number 1. So, and you get to make 2 in your card kit. Okay. All right, let's move on to card number 2. Oops. Which is this little beauty here. And if you look in the holiday catalog, this features the Perched in a tree. So it's kind of a tree theme, I realize, for today. Perched in a tree, beautiful cling stamp set. So you have this bird, you have this large tree branch here, and we're only going to be using 1 sentiment. Okay, and you can switch that out. You can use whatever you have. If you have a little bit of a grungy stamp set, then you can stamp that, and you can use whatever you want. If you have a different stamp set with a bird, just use that. Use whatever sentiment you want. So if you're not a big fan of this one, you can just use the supplies that I'm giving you in the card kit. You'll see that in a second, and just really substitute with anything you have. Okay, so and then we'll be using the I think they're called aspen tree dies. I had to think for a second. So, and there's this one huge, I love the leaves because they have this intricate details in the middle that are getting embossed. And then we have this huge, like, egg-shaped, it's not a dinosaur egg. That's what it first looked like to me. And you can, as you can see, you can do a whole card front with that. Okay, and I'm sure you've seen many beautiful cards made with that. You just get a partial die cut for me with the card kit. So let me show you the kit. So again, we have a basic white card base. You can fold that, use our bone folder to make that nice and even. And then in your kit, you have a piece of the super cute gingham designer series paper, and that is actually from our there's a huge pack in the holiday catalog. I didn't do a good job getting my catalog pages ready for you today, but anyways, it's in the holiday catalog. More to the end, it goes with a cottage wreath suite, and it's really beautiful. It comes in very a whole bunch of colors. This one is the mint macaron, and you can choose if you like this pattern more, or the back side is also mint macaron, just a smaller grid of gingham. So we're going to be using this one. And this is actually, I would like to call it a mega pack of designer series paper, because you get usually you get 2 sheets of each design. With this one you get 4. So it's really cool. And if you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, if you design classes, you appreciate this even more, because then you can use large pieces of designer series paper for your classes. And yeah, it's a really great set, and you'll see more projects for over the next few weeks, me using this gingham paper, because there's so much in it, and it's like really perfect for all the seasons, not just for fall now. Anyways, then what else you got here in your card kit? Of course, you get your envelopes. Okay, And feel free to stamp those. Then you have these trees here. And then you have, of course, your leaves. So these are die cut and crushed curry. Mine is a little bit cut off here. That's just because we're going to cut it off anyway. So I just did, yeah, that's the scrap of crushed curry that I had left for that one leaf. So I figured I'll just use that here. And then you have a smaller one. Okay, we can put that aside for now. And then you have a small piece of basic white to stamp your bird. And then you have this 3x4 piece. We're going to stamp that first. So we're going to start with crushed curry and our sentiment. Again, you can use whatever you have. I really like this wishing you abundant joy and peace. So, because that can go either fall season or Christmassy season. Let's see if I can get that on there somewhat straight. So we're going to place that up here. Okay, oh, looks good. So that's it for crushed curry. So I'll get that out of the way. Then we're going to be using mint macaron like we have on our paper here. Oops. So then the stamp set, Perched in a Tree, has these two really nice texture stamps. So I'm going to be using this one first, ink it up. And I want a lighter shade, so I'm going to stamp off first. And I'm not thinking too much about it. Just trying to remember to stamp off first, okay? So, and then we have this smaller texture, and I'm going to stamp that full ink. And as you can see, I'm turning the paper instead of moving around the stamp. It's usually easier. It's up to you how much sprinkle you want on there. So that's that. Let's get that out of the way. We might need the mint macaron in a little bit again. Now, we have this very long tree branch here. And I will stamp that in soft suede. That's our third color. And I'm going to stamp that right here. Okay. Okay, getting that out of the way. All right, we're going to let that dry for a second. And we're going to go ahead and stamp our bird. Going to do that in soft suede as well. I hope I can. Nope, looks good. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my light crumb cake, because if I could use soft suede, but I think that would be too dark. So I want just a really light layer of coloring. And again, there's no right or wrong here. I like to turn this way, and I'm just going back and forth motions. So coloring my bird. So I'm not trying to be crazy accurate here. I'll show you in the on the back side right here in a second why I'm kind of doing this back and forth. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just really going back and forth. And now I don't have a mint macaron Stampin' blend, so we'll just do the traditional press down your ink pad, or what you can also do is just get a little bit of ink on your block. It's really not much, but it's all you need. And I'm going to use one of our water painters. And now this is the regular basic white, so this is not watercoloring paper. That's not what we're trying to do here. And also we did not stamp in a permanent ink, so really just go really quickly here and try not to go over the stamped lines. Okay, all right, that's it. And I'll just know myself, I'm gonna get that dirty. That little bit of ink here, so I'll take care of that now. Okay, so there's a bird, and now we're going to die cut that. So I'm going to be bringing in my small mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. Okay, let me move that a little bit over here. And I'm just going to be using some Post-it tape. If you feel like a Post-it or Post-it tape is taking off some of your stamped image. Oh, I should have grabbed the die. I didn't do that. Then just put it on your shirt or your skin, like kind of, you know, put a little bit of lint on it so it is still sticky, but not as much. Okay, I'm gonna line that up. And run that through. And that's really the only die cutting, or if you don't have this bundle, whatever you use, fussy cutting you would need to do. Okay, there you go. There's a little bird. And now we have just one more intricate thing to do, and then we can assemble our card. So, like I said, you have a partial cut of this beautiful, intricate, large die with the trees. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shorten this, getting some stuff away here. And I'm going to cut this away. You can play around with it as much as you like. I'm just cutting there a little bit. And we'll see if I actually have to. Oop. So I just want these two tree trunks. And if you look at the catalog page in the mini holiday catalog, you'll see that I kind of combined two cards. So there's a pretty much this card there, but I changed the colors a little bit. So I'm going to bring in a little bit of liquid glue, just going to make that easier. And so just going to put some light layer of ink here. And I'm going to trim off any excess afterwards. That's just going to be easier. Okay, so again, this is the only step that might be a little bit tricky. Okay, so pick up your paper, then you can kind of see if it's all lined up. All right, so there we go. Just move it around a little bit thanks to liquid glue. And now you can use your trimmer or you can use your paper snips. Okay, so I'll trim that off. I'm going to, I always tend to cut into the layer that I don't want to cut into. So I'll be quiet for a moment and just focus on this. And then we can just trim this down a little bit. Doesn't matter if there's a little bit, you know, if it's not all the way cut, because we're going to have the bird sitting there and everything. Okay. All right, so then let's assemble our card. Again, like I said, I cut quite a bit away from our leaf here. Well, our leaf, my leaf. And I'm just going to add some adhesive here. And I'm going to put it somewhat in the middle. Okay, and I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals. Brand new sheet. Woohoo! I'm gonna leave the dimensional off there because I already have the leaf there. Okay. And again, let's focus for a second and place our panel here. Okay. And now all that's left is 3 more things. Oops. Again, just a little bit glue here on my leaf. I always put it too far out, so I'm going to try this. I have to put it higher. And then you can put dimensionals on this bird, but I prefer not to do too much layering with dimensionals if I already have such a large panel. All right, so let's see here. Makes somewhat sense for a bird. Oh, okay, I could pull this a little bit further down. Peek out more. I think I went a little bit too far in. Yeah, that's much better. All right. So then birdie can sit in the tree. Perched in the tree. All right, so and then one last thing. If I can find it. Yep. Okay. And then you have a small little bow of crumb cake baker's twine. That's from our essentials pack, also in that main catalog. It comes in a pack of 5 different colors in the basic white, crumb cake, gray granite, basic black, and very vanilla. So really, you know, good staple to have always lots of. I need to get a new pack because I used up all my crumb cake now. And so let's see if I can get, I'll just use that. A little bit of shimmery there. Let's see here. I'll put it right there on my bird. If I can get some out. Of course, you can use the tumble liquid glue as well. And, or glue dots, mini glue dots, whatever you prefer. All right, just a small little detail on our bird here. Okay. Put it on and don't mess with it. Then it's going to turn out the nicest. All right, so and that's card number 2. And if you want to, you can add a little bit of a wink of Stella to certain parts or all over, whatever you prefer again, or put some rhinestones, gems, whatever you like on there. Okay, so let me bring in the other 2. So you get to make these 2, and then you get to make these 2 cards. And like I said, you have the link to the PDF tutorial in the description. I will also email it out to my newsletter list. So if you're not on there yet, you will also find the link down below the video. Make sure you're on there so you always know when I have events coming up, card classes in person and online. So yeah, well, I hope you enjoyed the cards today, and let me know if you have any questions. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, and see you soon. Bye.